Good morning, Miss Griffin's class. For this week's Science Read Aloud, I am reading A Whale of a Tale, all about porpoises, dolphins, and whales. These are all animals that live in the ocean. This is a Dr. Seuss book written by Bonnie Worth. You can already see that we have a dolphin in our picture. What's the story today? Funny that you should ask. We're going to take a whale of a task to learn about whales and their smaller relations, porpoises and dolphins, and a group called cetaceans. So please hang on tight as we lower down toward the boat that we soon shall be sailing aboard. One very large boat, the best in the nation, Captain McElligot's Creation Cetacean. Like monkeys and donkeys and dogs and cats and camels, whales and porpoises and dolphins are all kinds of mammals. Cetaceans, I'm going to have fun with that word, might look like fish in the sea, but cetaceans are closer to you and to me. They are warm-blooded like us, but filled with fins and no legs. They give birth to live babies. They do not lay eggs. Fish breathe through gills that, like the cod over there, but cetaceans' blowholes, like noses, breathe air. Land mammals have bodies all covered with hairs. Cetaceans have few spare hairs on theirs. Our hair keeps us warm, but their fat does the trick. Sometimes, like a mattress, it's a whole 2 feet thick. Another big difference between whales and fish, thing 1 and thing 2 can explain if you wish. Fish flap their tails side to side when they go, but whales flip theirs upwards and downwards like so. Some cetaceans catch food with their teeth in their head. Others use something called a baleen instead. Baleen grows and roasts and forms sort of a grill for straining the tiny sea creatures called krill. But tooth or baleen, cetaceans don't chew. They swallow the food whole. That's all that they do. Some whales even swallow some things by mistake, a bucket or boot or a big rubber snake. That's why we gotta be careful about where we throw away our trash so it doesn't end up in our oceans. The cetaceans we know like to swim in a troop. A pod is the name that we give to this group. If danger is near, they will sound the alarm to keep their safe young and help those who are hurt. Because it is smallish, a porpoise is shy. It swims near the shore and does not leap up high. Only Dow's porpoise swims out in the sea, 30 miles an hour, a porpoise speedy. So a porpoise is smaller than a dolphin or a whale, so it's a little bit more shy. You're not going to see as many of them. We can play a game. Let's make it a start. Porpoise or dolphins? Who can tell them apart? Porpoise's teeth are flat, dolphins are cones. Porpoise's nose are shorter with delicate bones. Porpoise or dolphins? It's easy to spot. Dolphins' noses are long and porpoises are not. So if they have a long nose, then they are a dolphin. If they have a short nose, like this, they are a porpoise. Of dolphins, there are 35 types. Some dolphins have patches and others have stripes. These markings are really a very good way of hiding the dolphin as they hunt for their prey. The smallest is 5 feet from his nose to his tail. The largest is the orca, or killer whale. The orca is very pretty with its black and white coloring. Bottlenose leaps forward as neat as you please. The dusky leaps backward as it does with ease. And the one we call spinner, McElligot's, spins around in the air like a top the sky goes. And sometimes the spinner will come to a stop and peer out of the water. It's called a spy hop. So it spins around and around really fast when it jumps in the air. This humpback is very special, odd-looking mammal. It has a hump like the land-living camel. This dolphin's a boto. And what would you think if I told you the boto has skin that is pink? The dolphin has a way of looking around by forming a picture that is made out of sound. It sends out a sound at a high, steady rate. The sound bouncing back makes its jawbone vibrate. Echolocation is the word that we call the underwater way that dolphins see all. So it will send out a sound, and when it comes back, they know what's in front of them. Most dolphins could win Mummy of the Year. They care for their young and keep them quite near. When dolphins are born, a nurse dolphin is there to bring the baby up to breathe its first air. And the mom goes to hunt while this is thoughtful critter leaves the baby behind with the babysitter. I bet you are thinking, hey, what about whales? The biggest comes last. Oh, that trick never fails. Whales, as a rule, like to stay on the move, as all of our studies can easily prove. The tropical seas in the winter they breed, in the summer they swim towards the poles to feed. Sometimes scientists tag whales with sensors or plates to study their habits, their lives, and their traits. So whales don't like to stay in one place. They are always moving, trying to find the best food and the best place to hang out. The sperm whale can dive down 1 mile or more. Its rich blood and muscles are up to the shore. The cave in its head, that's the size of a jeep, weighs down the whale's body and helps it sink deep. Some whales we have found have teeth much more like beaks. They live far from the land, and we have a few peaks. The narwhal's long tooth is a tusk, as you see. It might work as a sword or an ice pick, maybe. So the narwhal is often called the unicorn of the sea because it has a horn like a unicorn would. One day you might hear a big loud splash. A whale has leapt up and come down with a crash. This is an act called breaching, and no one, not one, knows why the whales do this, perhaps just for fun. The best breachers of all are the whales, they say, humpback and sperm, right whale and gray. Can you imagine a whale jumping out of the water and landing back down with their huge bodies? That would be a huge cannonball splash. The ocean is loud with the sounds of whales talking. They're clicking and groaning and moaning and squawking. Why is it whales talk? To communicate. Who, what, why, and where, and if they'll be late. Humpback's sweet song won McGillicuddy's heart. It even showed up on the pop music chart. So they talk to each other, making sounds with their mouth and in their whole body, really. Nick and Sally all set. Oh, this will be a blast. Here comes a blue whale. The biggest comes last. The big whale is big, and for what it is worth, it's the biggest thing living in sea or on earth. The blue whale is big, yes indeed, and that's what's more. Bigger still than the biggest dinosaur. The story of the porpoise, the dolphin, and the whale, you have to admit, it's a whale of a tale. That is our book, A Whale of a Tale, all about porpoises, dolphins, and whales. I hope you enjoyed this book, learning about some animals that live in the ocean. Please go on Google Classroom and answer a question that relates to this story. Bye, Miss Griffin's class.